So I just checked my schedule, and I can go to the Arrow screening
Monday night.
for the Seventh Seal. Yeah. No. I've never seen it. Yes, I am. I've never seen this. I'm embarrassed to say
I've never seen it either. But you're a film student. You should have.
I know. I think it may have come up in different classes. Not at NYU, but at San Francisco State.
I have to tell you, it's what's the word I want? Daunting.
It's intimidating. It's
Bergman.
It's Bergman. And honestly, I hate to admit it, I've never seen a Bergman film.
You've never seen any Bergman
No. Can you name a Bergman film you've seen?
I can't name it, but I know I saw one. You know how I know I saw one? It was in black and white. It was really dreary.
The only Bergman I've ever been exposed to is through Woody Allen films. Either him...
Well, if you got to be exposed to it,
yeah.
There you go.
Either him... I know he spoofed the whole chess game thing in something, and I don't know what it was. Yeah. I want to say it was Love and Death, which I actually saw for the first time recently, like in the last month.
There's a whole list I've actually put on my Netflix of Woody Allen that I'm like, oh my god, there's so many more movies here.
Yeah.
That either I had heard of and forgotten, or I was like, I hadn't even heard of that.
Well, in the 70s, he pumped them out so much. I think it's easy for somebody who didn't live through the 70s. If you weren't there to go and see them when they came out, you miss them, and you don't, unless it's a huge title that's like Manhattan or Annie Hall. Yeah. People forget just how much he's done and how many movies he's made. Right. And he was like freaking studios in the Hollywood era. You know, they would just turn out another movie because that's what they did, and that's what they were expected to do.
That's what Clint Eastwood does now.
That's what Eastwood does now. Yeah.
He knows he only has a certain amount of time. It's like
tick tock, tick tock.
Well, and he enjoys doing it, so why not just do another one?
Well, and that's one of the things I really, really love about the fact that both Christopher Plummer and Max Von Sydow are nominated for Oscars this year, because these guys are 82 years old and they're just still working. They're just still working. There's no such thing as...
Landau's like that.
Yeah, you know, you got to give it to an actor who's like, I'm an actor. This is what I do. I'm going to go out and keep working. Not to say that somebody doesn't deserve to retire, but it's amazing to me some people's careers who've gone from a lead actor to a supporting character, or maybe back again, like say Michael Caine. They just keep doing it, or a lead actor to a supporting actor, which Christopher Plummer and Max Von Sydow. They both were lead actors, seen as lead actors, and they've gone to character acting, but they keep going. Yeah. And I mean, it's certainly arguable that they're still doing. Well, I guess they're at the pinnacle of their work. They're doing their finest work now.
Well, I think that
it's like a trained voice, right?
Yeah, well, like mine, which is the old cliche.
Like women.
One gets better, that's right, like women and red wine. One gets better with age. I mean, if they're really... How could someone not become...
better at their craft?
Yeah, unless, for example, you're a violinist and your arthritis kicks in, or physically you're not able to. Uh-huh. But I guess actors, in that sense, are luckier than dancers or musicians or singers, in that the body can still run down, but they can still find... Well, it's harder to find roles, obviously.
Look at Barrymore. I mean, Lionel Barrymore, who continued to work in a wheelchair for the last... Was it... I want to say 20 years?
I would say most of his career.
No, it seems like it, but
From
no.
Dr. Kildare.
All of his Dr. Kildare's. And
then on. It's almost like, even when he didn't need it, necessarily, he started doing it. That was an option they gave him.
Well, there's a film that I reviewed not too long ago on Classic Film School called On Borrowed Time. It's a film from 1939, and he's in a wheelchair. And they made a big deal in the advertising. I did some research to find out. No. Because they made a pitch in the advertising that Barrymore will be out of his wheelchair. He will be out of his wheelchair, and he is for one scene, and it's a trick shot.
Oh, really?
He's standing. And he doesn't move.
Why did they make such a big deal in the advertising about it?
Because he was such a beloved actor, and people were like, oh my gosh, he's going to be out of his wheelchair? Oh my gosh, he must be in really good health. Oh my gosh, he must be getting better.
It's like Garbo laughs. Barrymore
in a wheelchair. That would be actually pretty funny to like put pitches like that, poster pitches, taglines, side to side of what was considered like a big deal.
Actually, that'd be kind of neat. Yeah.
And or maybe has stuck with us over time. But... yeah, I really would love to see a tie kind of happen between Christopher Plummer and Max Von Sydow for two reasons. One, I think they both deserve it. I should say three reasons. Two, because this may be their last chance. And three, how cool would that be to see these two amazing icons of cinema
up there together receiving.
And they truly are.
And to be honored at the same time.
Well, that's the thing I see. It's like probably one of those two will win. I hope they don't.
Oh, it's going to be Plummer.
How I would love to hear both their stories right now, both their thank you speeches, in other words, and also the aftermath of press.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear?
Yeah.
Like you said, they've earned it. They're 82. When's it going to happen again?
Yeah.
Will it happen again?
Well, and it's never happened in the supporting category. It's happened in the actor category and the actress, but not in the supporting categories. I don't think.
I don't think for supporting actors. The only time, remember, I thought there was one with what's her face from LA Confidential, Kim Basinger and Stewart for Titanic, but that was a Golden Globe that tied.
Yeah.
And Basinger won it for the Oscar.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But I also wonder, what constitutes a tie? Do they literally have to have the same number?
It used to be
100 or something.
Actually, it's 2, I think. Within 2. No, 2 votes.
Within 2 votes.
Yeah. I have to take a look at the rules again, but I remember in the history, the first time there was a tie, which I believe was with actors in the early 30s, and I can't remember who it was.
Can't believe you don't know, Carrie.
Well, I want to say it was Victor McLaglen and somebody else. Victor McLaglen for The Informer and somebody else, but I can't remember. Anyway, when that happened, they decided... I can't remember which way it went. I can't remember if it was within 2 votes and they went to it had to be exact, or if it was exact and they decided it was in 2. Ooh. You know what? I think they went back to exact. I think it started to be within 2 and then they went to exact.
It must be based on how many members there are of the Academy who vote on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many members of the Academy there are. But for me, I feel like, say it's a small city, I feel like within 100 is a tie. I really do.
Yeah, except if you think about, remember we talked about this before, about the fact that there's only 9 nominees for Best Picture this year?
Yeah.
Why not 10? And we speculated that the 10th one was either maybe a tie with 11, or there was such a big gap between the votes that number 9 got, and number 10 got.
Third place was also within 100?
Well, where you cut the line, or draw the line. But the other tie that I think people do remember is the actress one for
Katharine Hepburn
and Barbra Streisand. Yeah, in 1967.
Hello, Graduate. Or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Yeah, Graduate. Katharine Hepburn
Neither of them
as
were in
Mrs.
that.
Robinson.
She was amazing, actually. People think it was Dustin Hoffman, but it was actually Katharine Hepburn.
Yes.
That's how good she is.
She was a wonderful impersonator. Yeah, people don't know that about her.
This was the same year, so I forget. But that's amazing to me.
What, that the 2 of them? That's 2 very different icons. But definite icons.
Wasn't quite yet.
But she became.
Yeah, and 2 very different performances.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it split the vote, But 2 deserving performances.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think that's the case in this year. I mean, I guess some people would say it wouldn't be so extreme between, a Broadway actress and the Queen of, England. If you compare that to the differences in these 2 performances of Christopher Plummer and Max Von Sydow, but you have a mute recluse and a man who comes out, a gay mature male. I don't know if that's pretty different. Those are 2 extremely different roles to me in my eyes, but
they're both old guys.
They're both old guys,
and they're foreigners.
And they're foreign. I think people forget Christopher Plummer is not American. That's
funny.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Australian actors. People go, is he Australian?
Not that Christopher Plummer's Australian. You didn't mean to say that.
Not that he's Australian, no.
Yeah. Well, you lose the accent. Okay, cool. So we'll go on Monday then?
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll meet beforehand.
You can pick me up.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. See you then.
I'm worried about parking.
Yeah. See you then.